The release of the Namibia Statistics Agency's final report on the 2023 census marks a significant milestone in understanding the demographic landscape of our nation. This comprehensive report sheds light on various critical aspects of Namibian society. As we delve into these findings, we can better grasp the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for Namibia. Mr. Shimuafeni, Statistician General and CEO at the NSA, now joins us to unpack. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I was going to ask about the most surprising findings regarding the 2023 census, but I think let's take it step by step and talk about, of course, I think in your preliminary report, one of the biggest surprises was that our population had grown so much. Perhaps you can just quickly talk to us about, the contributing factors to Namibia's population growth rate.
Yes, thank you for the question. But first of all, this is the main report after the preliminary report, which we also refer to as a basic report. In terms of the question, in terms of the contributing factors to the population, it requires more analysis in terms of having to look at when were the people born and where and what is the age, the demographics really that is behind that. But all I can say for now is that with the population with the census that we've done this year or last year, it's not only a digital census, but it's also a GIS-enabled census, meaning that there are geolocations of households where they are. So we have a digital map that can show you where exactly these households are. And that helps in terms of when you want to verify in terms of where this population, where they are located. For example, you will not see any households that are within the desert area because it's not a livable area, or within the Toshapen. Yeah, so that is what the census gave us.
What did the census reveal to us in terms of the distribution of population?
It gives us various indicators. For example, Angwena is the most densely populated region in the country, which is, I'm talking under correction, I believe 3.7 people per square kilometer, while Karas is the least densely populated or the most sparsely populated region, with 0.7 persons per square kilometer. So those are some of the characteristics that came out of the census.
You obviously delivered a presentation on some of the findings from the report, the census report, and children make up about 1.29 million of the total of Namibia's population. What percentage is that exactly?
Yeah, that gives you a percentage of 42.7% of the population. And then maybe while we're at that, I want to speak about another percentage or statistic that is 71.1%, which is the people under the age of 35, from 0 to 34. And I think that percentage was also confused with the population of the youth. But then the youth, by definition of the UN, is 15 years to 34, and that is. We have 34.1% of the population which are falling between 15 to 34 years.
So when we say children, what age bracket is that we're looking at?
Yeah, children, we are looking at looking at 0 to 14 years. And then we also know that within the children you have the infants that are 0 to 1 years. Yeah, so that is the figures that we have in terms of the children population.
In terms of mediums of media consumption, Mr. Shimuafeni, what does the census report told us about that? What forms of media is the most popular, and of course, which areas make use of what platforms of media?
Yeah, so you're asking me quite a
just off the top of your head, question. You don't have to give any figures.
Because I just released the figures this morning, this morning. But what was interesting is that we also had people as young as 3 years that own cell phones. Yeah, I don't have the figures now at hand, but then we just wanted to compare also with those 6 years and above, also quite a substantial amount. And then
that have mobile devices.
That's right. But I'm not surprised actually, because if you look at the education system now, I understand some of the schools, they've also now done away with textbooks, and then they use tablets, for example, to teach the pupils. So I think it's maybe the evolvement of the technology that is driving people today. And we also interestingly had a question today about is it morally right to have a 3-year-old having a mobile phone, for example? The answer can be yes or no, and then because there's also some features that you can have to block certain sites or certain features that a child can access.
Yeah. One other thing that I read within your report was that a lot of households within the country are female-led. So women are the head of the households, and I think it came to something like almost 50%, just under 50%.
Yes, actually, I believe it's 49% that are households that are headed by female, and then 51% by male. When you talk about gender equality, it's actually something that is quite interesting, because it's almost, it's like you say, it's almost 50-50, and it's very interesting. And I'm sure if you look at the analysis, if you look at the trend from years back, I'm sure the female-headed households were quite fewer than what we have.
It could be a good thing, or it could be a concerning thing. I think that's a topic for
yes,
for
it depends
another day.
what it is, yes.
Yes. Talk to us about marital status and nuptiality. What was found under those brackets?
Yeah, we had quite an interesting high percentage of people who are not married in Namibia. And then the question you'll have to ask is that, what is the reason? Why will people not want to get married? And then also interesting is also that within those people who are not married, who were never married, the male, the majority also of that. Whether culturally that's the case or not, we don't know. But it's also, maybe it's also opportune time to talk about the statistics that we are releasing, that the analysts in their various fields, they have now a basis to start doing their analysis and their further research. Because it will be interesting to know what is the reason why people don't want to get married. I think, yes, those results will be very interesting to look at.
The census also looked at the topic of fertility.
Yes.
That was interesting. Why did you choose to do that, and also what was found?
Yeah. Fertility is a topic that also have socio-economic impact. We all know that to maintain a child costs money. And then the more children that you have, the more that is required from you. And nowadays, it's more than that also. Even if you have all the money in the world, you also need to have the time. The children are specific nowadays that they need time to spend with their parents. So that is something that we need to look at. And then the other social aspect of that is also the whole aspect of reproductive health. In terms of, we have had cases of maybe teenage pregnancies or children, girls that had to drop out of school. Now that might have a negative effect, because some people might not go back to school again. Yeah. So, but it's one of those statistics that are in there. Yes.
How has the Namibian mortality rate changed since the last census in 2011?
Yeah, like I said, okay, I have the figures with me, not necessarily with comparison. But when you talk about the mortality, the infant mortality is now people within under 5 years or under 1 year. We're talking about 26.2 deaths within a population of 1,000 people. If you take it into percentage, it's like 0.026%. And for the deaths or the mortality under 5 years, we are talking about 38.8 out of 1,000, population of 1,000. But yes, it will be interesting to see how we can compare. But my belief is that it has improved because of when people getting more educated and how to take care of the children, that will definitely improve.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing that Namibians would want to know, in terms of what's in the census is Namibia's unemployment rate. Talk to us about your findings around that just very briefly.
Yes, from the census, yes, we had questions in terms of engaging. It's a module that we had engaging in terms of the employment of the people. Now that is one of the reports that are also not yet released. It's called the thematic reports, and that specific one will be released on the 29th of January. And the first thematic report will be on access to facilities, and that will be released on the 4th of December. And then from there on, we have moved to mid-January with the other reports that we also have to release.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, on that note, I'm sure the public is eager to do some reading of their own. So where can they go and have a look, a sneak peek? Yes,
they can get the report on our website, which is www.nsa.org.na. Yes, and we have some hard copies also that we need to take to the regions, but the quickest one you will get is online, yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here this evening. We appreciate your time.
You are welcome.
That was Mr. Alex Shimuafeni just briefly speaking to us about what the 2023 census report includes. You can go and have a look at it for yourself on their website. We'll be back after this.